you. Get some light here. Oh, shit. Sorry. Hi. I see you too. Grand Rising. Okay, so this actually was yesterday, but I was tired yesterday, so I didn't do anything yesterday. We're going to talk about poor leadership because I noticed something and I want to share it with you to help you along your journey, as I have been for most of this channel. You know, of course I have my moments, but for the most part, we're going to give you 10 qualities of a good leader. Okay, so those good leaders possess self-awareness, they garner credibility, they focus on relationship building, they have a bias for action, they exhibit humility, they empower others, they stay authentic, and they present themselves as a constant and consistent. They present themselves as constant and consistent and become role models and are fully present. Okay. Oh, another one here is why do we need quality leaders? Leaders shape our teams, organizations, communities, and world, and we need good leaders to help guide us and make the essential decisions, big and small, that keep things moving forward. Great. All right, so we got that. Hey, what you doing up there? Are you okay? You want to go back to bed? Halo, when he's sleepy, he wants to go in his carrier and he'll just sit there and wait. It's so cute. He's sleepy. Here's some more characteristics of quality leadership, which is integrity, effective communication, visionary thinking for effective leaders, emotional intelligence, decisiveness, adaptability in your leadership style, okay, accountability, confidence and leadership qualities, okay, delegation skills as leadership skills, problem solving abilities, team building, mentoring and coaching, passion and enthusiasm, strategic thinking, resilience, innovation. Okay, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. Okay, so I want to address also life path numbers. Okay, life path numbers 1, 3, 8, and 9 are often considered natural leaders. Life path 1 is the classic leader driven by ambition and independence. Life path 8 is the business and financial leader, while life path 3 is the charismatic communicator. And life path 9 is associated with global consciousness and leadership driven by a sense of justice. Okay. Dang, I should have taken more of a screenshot on that because it gets a little bit more in depth. And for some reason, this phone's not picking up the same thing AI picked up on the other phone, but that's fine. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this is not meant to be an attack. But some of you are meant to lead people to teachers. You know, like you yourself are not a teacher, but your job is to lead people to the teacher. So what I've seen, especially when it comes to me, right, is you leading your people away from me. The reason that's happening is because you lack self-awareness. You may have a lot of those characteristics, but because of your lack of awareness and your emotional intelligence, all your stuff, all your leadership qualities go to bad. You know? Like, yeah, you're confident. You're confident. You're so confident that I ain't shit, right? You're so confident that I'm not shit. That you'll say things so opposite of me that you're leading your people to the other path. Okay? Um, no accountability. And because you have no accountability, you now lead your people, your soul tribe, to have no accountability as well. You know, I brought up someone who mentioned that I was wrong when I said that you should drink water with sugar, and you didn't even listen to the whole spiel. I said sodium, last case scenario, sugar. And only if you're drinking above your threshold for water. You can die from drinking water. That's, I don't know. You could literally look that up. That is accountability. And then I watched everybody in your in your comments agreeing with you because you're the leader. So they agreed with you and they didn't even look it up. Yes, you can die from water. If you drink too much water in a day, you can die. Uh, you know, stuff like that. Being able to research and verify information is actually a form of accountability. It's accountability for your own knowledge, you know? Um, you are decisive in being contrarian. So since you're decisive in being contrarian, you have now led a whole bunch of people away. And I'm not speaking just in terms of myself, you know? It's not just about me, okay? And what I can offer that you're keeping people away from me. That's not really the problem here. A lot of you have been leading your collective away from the message intentionally. That's poor leadership, regardless of what the message is. Because some of you are sitting up here, actually have no knowledge whatsoever, but continue to lead your collective in discourse and like conflict because you like drama. You know, you're allowing them to participate in gossip. You're allowing them to participate in certain behaviors and call it spiritual. But it's because, and you get that following, you get those people. And one, it's because they're aligned with you, but two, because you're a natural born leader. And your natural born leadership is affecting the collective. You aren't as conscious as you think. And it's, again, I am not saying this to like put you down, okay? I'm not saying this to put you down. But the greatest example of poor leadership right now in our lives is Donald Trump, you know? Donald Trump is a poor leader, but he naturally is a leader. I don't know what his life path is, but he's been leading the masses since before he was a president. So something there is natural for him, where he just easily can garner a lot of following. And look how he just led them all to the slaughter. poor leadership, but he has the natural leader qualities. You know what I'm saying? Almost it appears that he would have a life path number 9, global consciousness, driven by a sense of justice, but his idea of justice is warped because he's not self-aware. You know what I'm saying? So he's over here affecting the masses, people that aren't even in this country. And so I just wanted to bring this up, that you may have one of these life path numbers. Okay. I don't. I'm a 7. I'm a teacher. Okay. Some of these leaders, some of these life path numbers are meant to lead people to teachers. They are meant to lead people to people with other types of wisdom. And if you are not self-aware enough, if you are not emotionally intelligent enough, if you are not on the right path of light, you very well could miss the teacher and lead everybody else to someone like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And I'm not saying any of you have. I think you're all self-aware enough to not do that. Not my mother, though. Hey, mama. You voted for Trump. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, honey? Poor leadership. Poor leader. I don't really have much else to say on that. Other poor leaders would be men who claim that they don't have to take care of their children if she's not sleeping with you. Well, what kind of leader are you? You a sometimey type leader, you know? Sometimes you can't lead anybody anywhere. You don't take care of your children. Okay. Other types of poor leaders, the red pill group. Okay. Which we find are commonly hypocritical. Some levels of misandrous. Okay. I don't think misandry is completely terrible. Because, I mean, look at the state of the world right now. A little bit of misandry is actually probably healthy. But some of them are so much to the extremes, you're following and you're losing sight of the goal here, which is reform, okay, not destruction. Which to some extent, I guess, to reform some things, you got to destroy it, right? Because you want to build a new, you got a house, you're renovating. It's not like you could just build a new wall on top of a wall. No, you got to tear the wall down and then rebuild it. I find some of the misandrists just want to tear shit down. They don't want to rebuild it with new values. They just want to stay in hatred, right? So you just got to pay attention to who is trying to rebuild, who is just trying to destroy. You know, they just want to break that man's ego, and they don't really come to a common ground. But I'm not like wholly against the misandrist crew right now, because sometimes you got to fight fire with fire. But you know me, I try to just stick to the, where is the love? Where's the love, y'all? Can we build it with love? You know, and sometimes you can't. I'm fine with that. You know, I think women tried that for a while, and this is what sprouted. Who else? Poor leadership. Who else? Oh, the anti-kids people. Okay, I just recently started. Let's do this really quick. Because I've been saying I was going to do this for a while, and I haven't really gotten to it, so we'll do it now. I have recently started following a woman who, I agree. She's saying that, you know, children are actually a marginalized group now. And I agree, because, I'm, 'cause, 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 ' That's her. Yeah. Katie Rocks dot official. Okay. Um, People who are anti-children, like, oh my God, I can't believe your kid is in the store crying, Poor leadership. Poor leadership. Children cry. And her sentiment was, you're entitled to a child-free life. You're not entitled to a child-free world. Great. I like that point because it's the truth. Okay. And so people are like, ew, kids, anti-kids, no kids in this building, no kids in this building, no kids wherever I go. I don't want to see a kid ever in my fucking life. Okay. In order for society to continue, you need kids. I mean, it's just kids rule the world. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. So to be like a movement against children would just never be proper leadership. Okay. Who else? Who else? All forms of all forms of any nationalist, racist, prejudice group. I can't really say prejudice because some prejudice come from trauma. Okay, real trauma, not perceived trauma. Okay, a white person's perceived prejudice or a racist prejudice is different from a black person's prejudice. A black person's prejudice isn't often perceived, it's real. Whereas I feel that a lot of white people's prejudice is perceived, not real. They themselves have never been a victim of anything from a black person. But the minute they get in the room with a black person, they perceive that person to be whatever it is they heard. Whereas most black people have actually experienced some level of narcissism, or not narcissism. Well, racism is narcissism. Okay. Racism is narcissism. Or you have to be narcissistic to be racist, rather. Those two things aren't the same, but they usually come together. Okay. Recently, a person that I have been hanging out with has witnessed me at Walmart get stopped for very minor things. Okay. So did If You Seek Amy. They realize, oh, this shit really is fucking real. They're not making it up. Okay. I had a Red Bull in my cart as I'm walking out the door. And because I had that Red Bull, she wanted to check my receipt. Now, any other time that we go in there together, if she's pushing the cart, doesn't matter what she's got in her hand, she doesn't get stopped. All right. But she noticed the last 2 times we went, had something in my hand, we got stopped. Perceived. I am perceived as a threat when I have done nothing wrong. Okay. That is poor leadership. It is actually poor leadership. She's gonna catch me that day. Still not Red Bull. Yeah, she was. All right. Trying to think of other groups that would be. I think I already talked about Donald Trump, but just MAGA in general truly believes that they are leaders. Okay, they are innovators. They are changing the game, right? And they've all found out, simple stuff like realizing that they were only mad about Obamacare because it was made by a black man, but it actually assisted them. Poor leadership, lack of awareness, okay? People who may very well be naturally born leaders. Because, I mean, they got enough people to follow and listen and think how they think, and come to find out they, cut them their own selves at the legs. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't think I have much more to say on that. What I was about to do just now, but I don't think it would be actually in good taste. I was about to speak on all of the the women I follow. Okay, women. I was getting kind of up in arms because I'm like, dang, I keep talking about the men that I watch, specifically the public offender. I just really enjoy the public offender's work. Okay. But I was like, dang, I only watch men. Actually, no, I don't. Because first of all, primarily what I watch is tarot, and most of those readers are women. In fact, there's only 2 men in my algorithm for that. Um, but when I'm on Instagram and stuff, most of those people are women. I do want to give you guys a shout out. I said I was going to do that, and I will probably do that here soon, but I want to start my day. JMD 489. I was talking about my life path, not my looks, but okay. You're about to get blocked off here because you come here talking about that nose ring theory. And here's what I believe about the nose ring theory. A lot of you guys, nose ring theory is where they say like they overshare, they're constantly being traumatized, things of that nature. And nose rings, natural born leaders. I don't have a life path number of a leader, but what I found out when I pay attention, people with these septum rings, they always have some information to share with you, and y'all can't get over the fact that they're oversharing, or they're showing you the shit other people are afraid to show you. They're showing you things that you're ashamed to speak of, and then y'all be like, bring back shame. Yeah, shame is how we got here, because you were so ashamed of the experiences that you had. You didn't share it with anybody. And so when somebody else is going through it, they didn't share it with anybody. And now here we all are in a fucked up situation, right? People with the septum piercing, they have a very bright calling on their lives to highlight some of the fucked up things that happen on this planet. And you know, a lot of you can't handle it. You feel uncomfortable. You feel discomfort by someone being unafraid of sharing their experiences. I think it's because then you have to face who you are as a person. But I could be wrong. I'm okay with admitting that I could be wrong about a lot of things. I don't really care. Have a good day.